What is up, everyone? Technic here, and in today's video I'd like to talk about the PS Vita. And no, not this type of PS Vita. Today we're actually going to be talking about the PlayStation TV, or the PS TV, or also known in Japan, the PlayStation Vita TV. So the reason why I wanted to talk about this particular, I can't even call this a handheld, it's more of a system. I wanted to talk about this system here today because well, there's a very peculiar way to kind of record your gameplay and record whatever you want to do with it. And also, this is the way that I primarily make my PS Vita tutorials, because you can also add sound to it. And again, I did say that I was going to have something special for y'all in this video, so stay tuned. Before I start this video, I'd like to give a little history lesson on the device that I'm talking about. So, the PlayStation Vita TV specifically was released in Asian countries on November 14th of 2013. It was released in North America on January 16th of 2014, and in European countries, it was released on November 14th of 2014. So, it was released a little bit earlier in Asian countries, but not too early. But the crazy thing is, it also lasted longer in Asian countries. So it was officially discontinued on February 29th of 2016 in Asian countries, and in the US and in Europe, it was discontinued in 2015. So it was very, very short-lived in the US and European countries, which is crazy to say because it's such a cool little system. But at the same time, a lot of people wanted to get PlayStation Vitas because they were portable. This retailed for about $90, and this is kind of like a yen to dollar conversion. Roughly, it released for 9,480 yen, so about $90 if we're talking about today's yen. It's probably less now because yen is actually dropping. In North America, it released for about $99, and in Europe, it released for about 99 euros. So this also depended if you got the value pack, and a value pack had a controller with it, a HDMI cord, USB cord. Sometimes it even came with the game. And it also depended on if you got a limited edition version, which Japan kind of only got that. Japan is like the king of limited edition systems and handhelds. So of course Japan got several limited edition PlayStation Vita TVs, which is cool because I actually get to show you one. Alright, so first off, the one on the left is the PlayStation TV. This one is specifically the one that was released in North America, which is very funny to me because I actually found this one in Japan. So basically somebody, I'm not sure who got it or how they got it, but basically they sold it to a reuse shop out in Japan, and I ended up getting my hands on it for about $60, which is extremely cheap for what they are actually going for now. It's even crazy to say that because I've seen some on eBay upwards to like 100 to 150 to 200 depending on the condition and everything. Let me go ahead and get this out the packaging so you guys can kind of see the back plate of it. So this is the PS TV. As you can see, it's extremely small. It's no bigger than the size of my hand. It has a memory card slot, power button. It has a USB port, an HDMI port, an Ethernet port, and that one on the right is actually the power adapter port. So, and I believe mine came with a 32 gigabyte PS Vita like memory card, which the memory card was definitely the PS Vita's downfall as far as people wanting to actually buy it, or buy the memory card specifically. Everybody was buying the PS Vitas. They didn't want to buy the memory card though. So when somebody released the SD to Vita, people were extremely happy about that. Alright, so now that I have everything laid out, you can kind of generally get an idea of what comes with the PS TV. So you have your standard book list, the actual system, the power adapter. In some cases there's going to be an HDMI cord in there, in some cases there isn't. But however, on the one on the right is the one that I really wanted to get into, just so you can see what a PS TV looks like, or a PS Vita TV looks like, sorry. Honestly, it looks the exact same, except Sony has this thing to where whatever they release in Japan, it's going to be a white console, and whatever they release in North America, it's going to be a black console. This goes for consoles, handhelds, whatever they release. The only exception that I've seen is literally the PS5 because it is black and white. And basically the same exact console came out for all regions. So it's nice to see that they was like, you know what, we're just gonna throw both colors in there. We're gonna stop being selfish and, you know, give everybody what they want. So I personally love the dual black and white color, and especially what I'm about to get into right now. So this is a PlayStation Vita TV, but this is not just a PlayStation Vita TV. This is actually the God Eater version. So I want to go ahead and show you the back of it. As you can see, there's not really too much of a difference, except one is called the PlayStation TV and the other one is the PlayStation Vita TV. They look exactly the same aside from the color. However, this is the limited edition version, or one of them anyway. So this is the God Eater 2 Rage Burst version, and I actually have the Rage Burst version of the PS Vita as well. When it comes to limited edition PS Vita TVs, these are extremely scarce. If you actually find one, they're probably going to be selling for upwards to maybe 250 to 300. I've even seen some for 500 in some cases, depending on the condition, what it comes with and everything, and what limited edition model it actually is. But just to let you know, if you're looking for a limited edition PlayStation Vita TV, good luck. That's going to be a very, very hard find. I recommend that you just, if you're looking for a PS TV, just get a PS TV. Don't go for a PS Vita TV. You're going to be shelling out a whole bunch of money. It's not going to be a good day. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to be a good day. Just get a PS TV and just call it a day. And if you're just looking for the PS Vita experience, just get a PS Vita. That's the most cheap. That's the cheaper option out of all of it. Just get a PS Vita. And the real reason why I wanted to make this video is there is a stipulation of whether somebody wants to record gameplay or record the PS Vita's gameplay, or record the PS Vita's screen in general, so they can make tutorial videos like the ones that I make. So I kind of want to get into that. Let me go ahead and finish unboxing this real quick. So as you can see, slight difference when it comes to the packaging. The value pack comes with a controller, HDMI cord and everything, and you just get the system with the other box. Now let me get into the real nitty-gritty of this video. So when it comes to recording your screen or gameplay on a PS Vita, you really do not need much. If you're watching this video, I'm going to automatically assume that you have a hacked PS Vita. If you don't, the first step that you need to do is you need to put your PS Vita on custom firmware. Mine is on permanent custom firmware. It's actually on 3.60, and all you need is the USB, and specifically it has to be a data transfer cable, not just a regular USB cable. It has to be a data transfer cable. The reason how you know it's a data transfer cable, that is, if you plug your PS Vita into the computer and to the cable, it's going to pop up with all your files and everything. And all you need to do is have a custom firmware PS Vita, a data transfer cable, and a plug-in, and congratulations, you can display your screen and everything. So fairly easy, right? When it comes to a PlayStation TV or a PlayStation Vita TV, when you want to record the video, there's a lot more things you need, unfortunately. So to start things off, you're going to need a PS TV or a PS Vita TV. You're going to need the power cable for that PS Vita or PS TV or PS Vita TV. You're going to need not one, but 2 HDMI cords, and I am not joking when I say this. You literally need 2 HDMI cords. You need some kind of HDMI splitter, and do not get this confused with the HDMI selector. You need a HDMI splitter, and it's a specific kind of splitter. Please take heed to the one in the video. And how could I forget? Because this is a system, you need a controller of some kind to control the system. I recommend a PlayStation 4 or a DualShock 4 controller just because it has the touch bar on it. You can also use a PlayStation 5 controller. I don't have a PlayStation 5. And last but not least, let me go ahead and get this out the way. Go ahead and get this out the way. Let me get my boy Slowpoke out the way. You need a capture card. It doesn't matter what capture card you get, but you need some kind of capture card. Whether it's a portable one or one that you hook up on your computer. And after you manage to create a wired mess inside of your recording studio or whatever, you are pretty much ready to record on your PS TV or PS Vita TV. Now, the reason why I say you need a HDMI splitter, this is also the same case for a PlayStation 3. So the PS Vita, the PS TV, the PS Vita TV, and the PlayStation 3 all have something called HDCP or HD copyright protection. So an HDMI splitter is something that splits the signal, enabling you to still record despite the HDCP. So if you see this screen right here, this is what it looks like when you do not have a HDMI splitter. However, if you do have an HDMI splitter, things will work okay. The system will turn right on in your capturing software and you can see everything. I even created a little custom message for you guys. So initially when you boot up a PlayStation TV or PlayStation Vita TV, you're going to notice some different things. In the top left corner, you see the three dots in a line. That's the Ethernet port connected. The PS Vita TV or the PS TV also has a power bubble to turn it off because it is a console. And you can pretty much control it with the controller after that. So after getting all of that stuff, and you can also put it in standby mode, and you can also power it off via the PlayStation button. So it's a very cool thing to have. Initially, my first impressions of recording on PS Vita TV and on PS TV is it's very great. You can obviously get all the sounds through HD and everything, which it's kind of debatable because you can also get this thing called a Vita dock and basically achieve the same thing with the PS Vita and the PS TV. So if I want to give like a final verdict, is it worth it to get all of this stuff just to record PS Vita TV or PS Vita gameplay and tutorial videos? And you're hearing it from me, honestly, no. Like if you're really that dedicated to recording PS Vita gameplay and PS Vita tutorials, you can mostly just accomplish it on the PS Vita, to be honest. And there really isn't much to it. All you would have to do is just buy a PS Vita. Preferably, I kind of steer people towards, and this is coming from somebody that loves the PS Vita 1000, by the way. I kind of recommend that you get the PS Vita 2000 model because it's just easier to manage. It has the internal storage to where you technically don't need a memory card to put it on custom firmware. And again, I love the 1000. It has the OLED screen and everything, but for purpose of ease, please go ahead and find yourself a PS Vita 2000. Just do yourself a favor. It's just easier in the long run. And secondly, if you notice the little finger on the screen, that's the only extra that you get recording on a PS TV and a PS Vita TV. So if you're using a PlayStation 4 controller, and I'm pretty sure this works on a PlayStation 5 controller too, you can actually have a little pointer to like kind of point out what you're doing. But again, this is minuscule to what you can do with editing. Like you can just put an arrow on the screen and say, I'm talking about this. It's minuscule to what you can do with your editing software. So again, do I recommend anyone spend because again, let's go ahead and calculate this for a second. An HDMI splitter is probably going to run you about $30 to $50 depending on if it's available or not. 2 HDMI cords, if you don't have that already, that could run you about $20 to $40. If you don't have a PlayStation TV or a PlayStation Vita TV, that can run you to $100 to upwards to $300, depending on which one you want to get. If you don't have a PlayStation 4 controller or a PlayStation 3 controller, that could be about 50 to 70 to 80 bucks. If you don't have the power adapter for that PS TV for whatever reason, that can also run you some money, maybe about 20 to 30 bucks. And I believe that checks all about. Oh, sorry, the capture card. How could I forget? The capture card is going to be the most expensive thing that you get, depending on which one you get. So I remember getting a Elgato HD60 capture card for about $80 at the time, and I could have swore they sell for about 80 to 120 depending on which one you get. Now, this is an absolute nightmare when you compare it to spending about $80 to maybe $200 on a PS Vita, putting some custom firmware on it, getting auto plug-in 2, installing the plugin that you need to, and at the same time just having a data transfer cable, and all you would have to do is and granted, you might need to do some configuration if you have a webcam. Like if you're using a laptop and you have a webcam installed on it, you might need to disable your webcam, because your PS Vita is essentially going to pop up as a capture device, but it's going to look like a webcam, so the two can be confused. And if anyone was having that error, by the way, I hope I solved that for you. So basically all you would have to do is to just go into your device settings and disable your computer's webcam, and basically if you like popped it up on OBS or whatever, your PS Vita would then pop up as a capture device, or in some cases a webcam. It's a little weird how you have to configure it, but yeah. But to end this video, I just want to bring this to light. If anyone is genuinely trying to record a gameplay on the PS Vita or any kind of tutorials or anything, just get a on the PS TV. Just get a PS Vita. Do yourself a favor, get a PS Vita. You will thank me later. You save a whole bunch of money, and it genuinely looks better because you're doing it via touchscreen. But you know me, I like to do it a little bit extra, so I got the whole setup and everything, and it also brought me to making this video. So this is Tech Nick, and I will see y'all in the next video.